Y'all know that song? Dun 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 dun. If you ain't no OG, you don't know where it started at. Money, 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 money. Money. Money, 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 money. Money. I'm talking about Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Left the Vikings. Went to the Falcons. 4 years, $180 million. Get cut. Pop out with a bag. $20 million guaranteed. Kirk, family member Cousins, is coming in ruining the plans of his son, Kirk Cousins Jr., a.k.a. Fernando Mendoza Cousins. Because we talking about the same guy. Now listen, all this time we've been saying Raiders for sure going to take Mendoza at 1, right? Raiders for sure going to take Mendoza at 1, right? And what happens? The Raiders get ousted on the trade with Max Crosby. That would have left them with pick 1 and pick 14 if I'm correct. They would have had 2 first round picks in the top 14 picks of this year's draft. Maybe they're a little bit sour about having a parade rained on in the Max Crosby trade. Maybe they do play Kirk Cousins. Let's play devil's advocate. Maybe they do wait on Arch Manning or whoever coming next year and do what the Bears did with the Panthers is. Bryce Young was the can't miss prospect. The Bears traded out, got DJ Moore and like 4 picks in the next 2 years, first round picks. What did that pick turn into? It turned into Caleb Williams. And they still got their quarterback. And now look at the Bears won the NFC North last year. So maybe Kubiak and Tom Brady and the boys over in Vegas got the gambling the dice. Like last year, the Tennessee Titans couldn't get a lot for number 1 because the Browns was picking behind them at 2. So the Browns is like, if you go Ward, we'll go Sanders. If you go Sanders, we'll go Ward. We don't have to trade with you. And they wind up trading back with the Jaguars, and the Jaguars moved up and gave up. And now the Browns pick at 6 and 24 this year. Maybe the Raiders are looking at that and saying Kirk Cousins this year is going to be better than what Mendoza could be in year 1 under a new regime. Maybe they're just going to roll Kirk Cousins out there for $20 million, keep the money in their pocket. They got Max Crosby back. Maybe they trade their number 1 overall pick to the Jets or the Cardinals or some other unsuspecting team and get a mother load of picks. That could be what they have up their sleeve. And who could really argue with that? If you're going to start Kirk Cousins this year and you're going to have like 4 or 5 picks in the first and second round the next 2 seasons and you rebuilding anyways, maybe they sent all those scouts to look at Mendoza because they want to save some money. Who knows? Nobody really knows how the draft is going to go. Nobody expected the Texans to take C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson back to back 4 years ago when they did it. And you never know what a plan for rebuild could be for a team. It could be, here's our quarterback, we're going to take him, and here's a really good backup in Kirk Cousins that's day 1 ready, and we don't want to get Mendoza killed. That could be the other option. Or the other option could just be simply they're going to get a mother load of picks. So if you had, I'm asking y'all, I don't pretend to be the know-it-all, but I will say, if you could get like 4 extra picks in the first 2 rounds of the next 2 seasons and get Arch Manning next year, or you take Mendoza with whatever you got this year, which one would you take? I don't think either one of them, like this year or next year, gets you into winning the AFC West. You got the Broncos, who was at the top of the AFC. The Chiefs are going to bounce back. And then you got the Chargers with $80 million to spend with Harbaugh, who's just not going to sit down there and take a line on his back. So there's a lot of different options because you don't know how important those 2 first-round draft picks for Max Crosby may have been to the plan that the Raiders had. And they may have sat back and said, they really foiled our plans. We wasn't expecting that. There was an unprecedented fleece job that we just got. Maybe they want their draft picks because them trading out of 1 in Mendoza is going to be more valuable than trading Max Crosby. Max Crosby is going to get you a first this year and next year. If you trade out of 1 this year, you remember when the Rams made that trade. I mean, the Rams gave up their first round pick for like 4 years and gave up Jared Goff too. So you just don't know what they're thinking. What do y'all think? I had to get through that spiel and play devil's advocate a little bit, because I always got people jumping in the comments like, man, maybe they're just, man, nobody knows what these teams are thinking. The draft is full of surprises. That's why it's a fun time. Just like when y'all watch me on this screen and they said A.J. Brown is going to retire Tennessee Titan, and watch Mike Vrabel get up and flip the table over when John Robinson traded him for Traylon Burks and Malik Willis. So you don't know what's going to happen in the draft. Now let me get caught up on the chat, man, because I'm only here because y'all here. We took a few days off and we back. Zay, Statman, Charles D. Cam was always first. Kirk got to meet Marshawn Lynch and visit Oakland for a week. Hey, but look, Kirk Cousins is definitely one that could go to the cookout. He was fine in Atlanta with the gold chains. He said, what's my thoughts on Pooh Shiesty and Guwap? Honestly, I think that's Negro stuff. I don't care nothing about it. Unc don't care nothing about rappers. Like, if it ain't J. Cole, I probably could care less about anything that happened with anybody, any rapper. That's no disrespect. I'm saying, like, Unc don't care nothing about hip hop and rap. I don't. Nas got a new album out. J. Cole got a new album out. I'm good for the next 2 years. I could care less about about street rappers. He said, Kirk Cousins' agent is like gotta be one of the greatest of all time. Like, Kirk Cousins' agent could have went back and talked to Pontius Pilate and talked Yeshua up out of that thing. You feel me? Them 12 disciples would have changed their mind if they had Kirk Cousins' agent. It's Easter, so you know what I'm saying? I got bars. Who cares about Pooh Shiesty and WAP when Unc got bars? How I just brought Easter Sunday and Kirk Cousins together like that off the top. Man, I ain't got time for no rappers. Raiders did just make that move, Brandon Stone. And it could be a smart move. Nobody can argue that when the Bears traded out of one that year when Bryce Young was a can't miss prospect, they got a 1,000-yard receiver back. They got four picks in the first 2 rounds. It turned into Luther Burden, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and Caleb Williams. And then they traded DJ Moore and just got another pick back. So that trade that they made all the way back when with the Panthers is still paying them dividends today. He said the Raiders could be smoking dope and a fraud out, but it could be a good move. You always got to look at stuff like a chess match or, you know, high stakes poker. What if playing Kirk Cousins next year makes the Raiders instantly more competitive with the team that they have with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty and Michael Mayer and the young team that they have? If you're telling me they're going to get like 3 first-round picks and a second or a third back, nobody's complaining about trading out of Mendoza if next year Kirk Cousins is sitting on the roster with no guaranteed money. He's still your quarterback to mentor whoever you bring in, and next year you could go get Arch Manning. I think Arch Manning would sell more tickets than Fernando Mendoza. You know, argue with your mama. I'm sorry. Who cares if Arch Manning is even good or not? A Manning in Las Vegas with Tom Brady in the front office and Kirk Cousins mentoring him sounds like money to me. Y'all gotta understand, these billionaires are thinking about money, not just wins and losses. Charles D, did I put it in y'all head? Now you see trading out of one how value it could be. And they're like, well, Buddha, why you didn't say that last year when we were saying trade Cam Ward? Y'all said take Abdul Carter at 1. And I told you that the Browns held the key to the draft because they was the team sitting. Either they're going to get Cam Ward or Shador. They got Shador and the Jaguars' first round pick this year. Seems like they got the big dub. At this point, we signed vintage QB. No, Calhoun Savage. You have to use barbershop logic. Y'all know when y'all step in the shop, you just can't just talk out the side of your neck, right? Kirk Cousins has $20 million guaranteed. Meaning that after this season is over, the Raiders can cut him with no penalty because the Falcons is still paying, I think, $8 million of his contract. So you have to understand, even when the Falcons signed Kirk, it was $100 million guaranteed. It was $180 million in over 4 years, and the first 2 years was guaranteed. They restructured it. That's why they having to pay now. If they would have just bit the bullet, they would have been straight, but they was broke trying to shuffle the roster. Now, Look at the Raiders. They learned from watching the Falcons and said, well, we'll give you 5 years and some security, but only 20 million is guaranteed. So after this season, they could do whatever they want with Kirk Cousins. And you still don't know. They still may trade Max Crosby. Imagine if they traded Max Crosby and got a first and a second instead of 2 firsts because he hurt. You got a first and a second, and then you trade number 1 for 3 firsts and a third or something. Good God, like the Raiders could pretty much go. It'd be the Oakland Raiders drafting and then all the other teams after. Need you in the front office for Bama or Titans because you know your stuff, no cap. I don't know everything. It's some stuff I don't know, but what I do know, I know. And I learned don't speak on what I don't know. Sell water to a dolphin. How the little sound the dolphins make, Cam? Hey Cam, you see in my story, rich black man talking about they ain't got cowboy stuff at the thrift. Then I posted some in rich MIA. Rapper Gucci Mane. That's the second person who said something about that. Listen, gangster rappers, gangster stuff happens to them. Unc ain't no gangster, so I'll let the gangsters deal with the gangster stuff. I just talk football and thrift items. Which this t-shirt come vintage Titan. Make sure y'all checking out my vintage Titan thrift store videos. My next thrift store video, the full episode is gonna be about how to spot fakes. Unc got 550 transactions, 125 transactions in the last 90 days, 100% sell through rating. Talk to me, man. Unc know his shit. Raiders about to shock the draft. Ain't no way we made this move without a scheme. That's what I'm saying. It more seems like you sent 10 people to go look at Mendoza and said he's good, but he's not great. Well, there's no guarantee that Fernando Mendoza at his peak will ever be better than Kirk Cousins right now. There's no guarantee. Even though Kirk Cousins have never did nothing in the playoffs ever and made the most money of any quarterback in NFL history. But at the end of the day, you gotta think, like, how many draft picks can you get back to load your team up? One year guaranteed money, Big Jeff. So basically his agent said, we got our money. If he plays well, the money will guarantee itself, right? Like if Kirk Cousins goes and does a Sam Darnold, the money will guarantee itself. They're not going to cut him if he's playing well. If he's playing bad, he's going to get cut, and he's rolling the dice because he already got 20 million guaranteed plus the 8 from the Falcons. I mean, you got to think Kirk Cousins in the last 2 years and then this year, Kirk Cousins got $120 million for basically being a backup quarterback. That's stealing, man. Y'all playing this smart. This is like, think about all the teams that got high paid backups. Like the Indianapolis Colts just got tricked into giving Daniel Jones $50 million guaranteed next year. Would you not take Kirk Cousins for 20 guaranteed over Daniel Jones for 50? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the amount of money that people, like the Dolphins are gonna have to spend like $50 million for Tua to play somewhere else. Like, I'd much rather give Kirk Cousins 20 to be a backup. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, y'all know how I be on Kirk Cousins' neck, but not in this situation. The Raiders could be cooking up a huge move. And just think, they're in the division with the Chiefs, Justin Herbert, and Bo Nix and Sean Payton. Like, you ain't beating the Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers and winning the West next year, regardless of whatever you do. So you play the long game. Like, imagine them making a trade like that and then next draft, drafting Arch Manning and Jeremiah Smith. They could do something crazy like that to go with Brock Bowers and Ashton Jitty. And then spend all day draft this year on defense. Like, they could do something like that. Okay, you're from the city. We don't have to portray it. I'm 43 with a wife and 2 daughters. Like, I don't care to have nothing to do with nothing gangster. I think the most gangster and revolutionary thing you could do is be a good husband, father, and take care of your family. That's it. Yeah, Henry Hooker, because they about to trade Will Levis and get them draft picks y'all told me we wasn't gonna get for him. You see what I'm talking about? You just don't see it. I mean, think about it. You saying you don't see it, but nobody expected the Browns to trade out of 2 last year, trade back to 5 and get 2 first round picks, and then still have Shedeur Sanders. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if I told you before last year's draft, the Browns are going to trade out of 2, they're still going to end up with Shedeur Sanders, and they're going to have the Jaguars first round pick next year. You would, and they got Mason Graham and Schlesinger and Harold Fanning and Dylan Sampson and what's the running back from Ole Miss and Ohio, Quinshawn Judkins. Like, if I told you they was going to do that and still have Myles Garrett last year, you would have told me I was crazy. But you setting yourself up for the future. You see what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't have thought that y'all would have got Quinnen Williams and still have 2 first round draft picks for the Dallas Cowboys this year. And Micah Parsons is going to get traded. Shot by Buddha did. Go back and check Rich Blackman's Silver and Blue Huddle. I told him they was going to trade Micah Parsons. Nobody's seen them trading to get George Pickens for a second round pick last year and him being a top 3 receiver in NFL. Like, a lot of stuff happened. Nobody could have expected the Chiefs to pick in the top 10 in this year's draft, Patrick Mahomes to get hurt, and them still to have 2 first round draft picks and trade McDuffie to the Rams. Everything that's happened this year, if I told you that Mike Tomlin was going to get relieved, if John Harbaugh was going to get relieved, and McDermott was all going to get relieved, and the Broncos was going to be in the AFC Championship with Jarrett Stidham at quarterback, and the Patriots that won 4 games in 2 years before was going to be in the Super Bowl and lose to Sam Darnold, who got smoked by the Rams and then got sent to the Seahawks, and the Seahawks let DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett leave, and I told you this was going to go to the Super Bowl, you would not have believed it. You would not believe that Brian Daboll and Brian Callahan would be playing musical chairs, and Brian Daboll would be in Nashville, and Denard Wilson would be with John Harbaugh in New York. You like, all these things that happened this year is like unbelievable. So why not just add some more spice in the pot in the gumbo to the things that's been happening this year, which has been the craziest offseason I've ever seen in my life in the NFL. He said we now have Kenny Pickett and Kirk Cousins on the same roster. Imagine. But Kenny Pickett is the one that got the Super Bowl ring. Crazy, right? Kirk will win some. I think it was more Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly to do to their demise than just Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith will bounce back and play better in New York on his second stint in New York. Like Arch over. I just think Arch Manning in Vegas sounds like it sell tickets with Tom Brady. He said that's the real gangster. That's why you go, bro. Just on a grown man. Yeah, I mean, like, that's why when J. Cole said that on the album, when he was like, being real don't mean, it just mean you stand on business and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I love J. Cole, because J. Cole backed out of the beef and explained itself. Like, man, I'm grown. I ain't got time to be going back and forth. I'm going to just drop. And can't nobody tell me that the off season might delete later and the fall off, those 4 albums is better than what Kendrick and Drake then put out in the last 5 years and what they gonna put out. He put them 4 out. I'll take them 4 versus the last 4 and the next 4 from them other guys. Don't want my money in YouTube. Set up the donations, bro. Man, just send it to the app, man. Just send it to the Cash App. I told you I was gonna start April off with the like everything ain't came back yet. And I apologize, I missed your call earlier, but I was on a lunch date with the old lady, man. She had on a little denim one piece. Yeah, Unc gotta, you know what I'm saying? Unc gotta, do what he gotta do. Man, family matters. He said Levis is for real gangster gonna move. Pollard gonna be post. Man, Robert, we're gonna get into that in a minute. Because I get tickled pink at all the Titan fans. I'm gonna get to the Titan fan. I saved the best for last. I'm gonna save the Titan stuff for in a little bit. Kaka said we want a veteran in front of Fernando Mendoza. But this is the thing though. It's a smart move even if you take Mendoza. But if you wind up trading out of Mendoza and saving it and just rolling Kirk Cousins out there for this year and building a better roster and then putting Arch Manning in the next year, nobody gonna argue with that. Unless Fernando Mendoza goes somewhere and win a Super Bowl right out the gate like Ben Roethlisberger or something. Here we go again in Dallas, Buddha. I know, man. It's getting hot outside. Smooth. It's Good Friday coming up. It's starting to get hot outside. The Negro stuff about to start, Smooth. How my mental health doing today, and how's your really helping, man? Hey, I appreciate you, Stat Man. My mental health has got better ever since I started waking up about 30 minutes before everybody in my house. I read them red letters that's in the Bible. Flip to the pages and read the red letters, and give yourself about 5, 10, 15 minutes before everybody wake up in the morning. Get yourself together. No phone, no TV, no radio, no social media, no nothing. You know, go drink some water, take your multivitamins. If you got pollen in your area, like I got pollen in my area, take you one of those Costco allergy pills and drink some water. And then later when you get in the car, when you're leaving, you know, you might pull out the orange juice or the coffee or the tea. That's the way I get my mental health together, and it's working wonders. Mountains have moved in front of me. Things that I didn't think could happen is happening, because sometimes you gotta have a little faith, man. Sometimes you gotta trust a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta relinquish. Jesus, take the wheel. You know, you gotta do some stuff like that sometimes. Madden 27, bro. I don't even touch Madden. Big Crit just dropped the album Cadillac Barrettes. Man, Smooth, talk to me. Man, gas prices is stupid, man. Father, don't even start talking to me about gas. All right. So that was like the first subject, is playing devil's advocate with Kirk, family member Cousins, and his son, Fernando Mendoza Cousins Jr. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see if the draft night get and the Raiders trade out of one. Don't be surprised. I don't expect the Raiders to make the same mistake the Falcons made, which is having a $180 million quarterback and a first round top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things happen. All right. Now we're going to get into the second topic of the day. Second topic of the day is the Tennessee Titans. The Titans of Tennessee and the moves that they have made. And I want to say this. The Tennessee Titans, y'all remember all last year, I said it till I was blue in the face. Tennessee Titans got to get out of having players who their ceiling is special teams and their floor is practice squad. We need players who their floor is special teams, but their ceiling is their contributor to the football team on Sundays, which means better competition on the roster, right? Can you think of any team that signed a player off the Tennessee Titans practice squad in the last few years? Because the competition in the practice squad and the bottom of the roster has bottomed out. Now you see them add KJ Osborne, a receiver that his first 4 years in the league is 500 or 600 yards per year. Then when you look at them adding Michael Carter doesn't mean we won't take love. Michael Carter has nothing to do with Tony Pollard or Tajay Spears. He has something to do with saying, y'all cry about Julius Chestnut still being on the roster, but guess what this does? This now gives that third, fourth, and fifth running back spot some competition. There's somebody who's familiar with Robert Saleh and how he likes to do things is going to be in there competing with Julius Chestnut. And if Julius Chestnut wins that running back 4 spot right now, fine. But at some point, the Julius Chestnuts, the Mason Kinseys, you know, those guys have to start getting challenged. And I think that's what they're starting to do. Because this has no bearing on the draft or what happens with Tony Pollard. And then you look over and see them adding Lance McCutcheon back, who is basically a camp body. He couldn't find his way onto the field last year in games where Mason Kinsey and James Prochet were starting at wide receiver and Corey Levin was running routes. So maybe they're starting to understand that this bottom part of the roster, we're having David Martin Robinson and Kylan Granson fighting for tight end 3 and 4, and having KJ Osborne and Bryce Oliver and Mason Kinsey and Xavier Restrepo fighting for the last receiver spot on the roster, with the draft still impending and the Titans still having league leading cap space. This is what you finally want to see. The Titans floor has risen, where practice squad players are not starting. Practice squad players are practice squad players. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get back to the days where undrafted free agents like Aaron Brewer and NWI and people like that will we'll have some new versions of them that'll push some of these guys out that's just been hanging on, eating the check at the bottom of the roster, doing making sure they lead the stretch line. No disrespect to those guys, because they're still way more accomplished sports wise than anything the Unc will ever be. But it's good to see the Tennessee Titans floor rising on a roster that I said, stop worrying about Cam Ward and worry about helping the overall 53, making the 53 get better. Now, tighten up, Stevie B. Now let's just really get into this other part. And I be watching the comments and people that disagree with everything that I say. When I said, man, Robert Saleh. Let me pull this up because a lot of people seem to be taken aback by this, but I don't know why people like to defend things that don't need defending. Do you understand that? Do y'all understand what I mean when I say I have people in the comments that are always defending things that don't need to be defended? Like this post right here. When I said Robert Saleh said T'Vondre Sweat would fit perfectly in my defense. He'll be asked to go sideline to sideline, but I think he's a very talented individual, and I'm excited to get to work with him. Boom, he going to the Jets for Jermaine Johnson, which was a great move for both teams. It was a win-win for both teams. T'Vondre Sweat taking over Quentin Williams' role after being sent to the Cowboys, and then we getting a former first-round Pro Bowl talent at edge, a position that we most desperately need, right? And then he goes out and says, Tony Pollard. That dang Tony Pollard. He ran for 100 on the 49ers. I remember he was so tough that day. I love our running back room. And I said, Tony Pollard has ran for 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, 2 at the Cowboys, 2 at the Titans. Even though those teams, haven't been competitors at the time. But at the same time, let's be honest, Robert. That don't mean that Tony Pollard is safe. I don't know how people can take that and say, like, man, like, bro, it's called a smoke screen. It's called not showing your hand. Hey, I'm not going to down talk T'Vondre Sweat when I'm trying to get a former first round pick swap for him. I'm not going to down talk Tony Pollard if I got a team that may trade for him, or we might be cutting him to save $7 million to sign Najee Harris and draft Jeremiah Love. I'm not going to down talk him if we have those intentions. But I don't know how people can take that and be like so mad that I stated the obvious, that he said the same thing about T'Vondre Sweat a few days before he got traded. Why would he talk down on a player that's due $9 million next season if he plays? And then people are like, well, the Seahawks, Tony Pollard had the same amount of yards as K9, and they won the Super Bowl. And they also have Jackson Smith-Njigba, NFL's leading number 1 receiver last year. Cooper Kupp, the Triple Crown winner, already done won a Super Bowl, traded for Rashid Shaheed, Barner, drafted Arroyo, had a good offensive line and a superstar defense. Like, shut up. I just need y'all to shut up sometimes, man. Stop trying to be right and make Unc wrong. Just because I'm undefeated and y'all can't get here in the Discord and defeat me in these conversations don't mean you have to just take everything so personal, because Unc can say when he's wrong about something. If they don't draft Jeremiah Love, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to cheer for whoever they pick at edge rusher. If they draft Jeremiah Love, I ain't going to be sitting here saying crystal balls in the chat. I told y'all so. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a humble guy, man. I'm a humble guy. So, it's just funny to see that sometimes people will go all out of their way just for the thought that, like, if they feel like they make me wrong, like, bro, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about giving perspective. I like to see y'all thoughts about y'all teams and the Tennessee Titans and the draft and things. It's not like I'm going to sit here and argue with you, because my perspective or my opinion is no more valuable than yours. That's why I like to hear, people's other thoughts. But don't just make your whole thought about just being the antagonist to me, because you're going to lose every time when we make fun of you. All right. And I can't wait to show y'all some more thrift videos. I think the next 2 videos I'm gonna do, one is how to spot fakes. I starting to see people pop out and be like, yo, this is fake, and like everything that you sell on eBay these days, every single tennis shoe I ship goes to authenticity. My money doesn't release until they authenticate the item. If the item does not authenticate, It is returned to sender, and their money that's being held is released back to them. No harm, no foul. We're 100% on 550 transactions. The last 6 weeks since I started back, we've done 25 orders, and it's like $2,300. We're doing perfectly fine. But this is to show you how to not get beat on sneakers and things like that when you're getting them online, to make sure you got some kind of guarantee. And when you see pop out on the dollar Tennessee Titan shirt, and I'm mad at the Titans fan shop. That night when they did the reveal, I got excited and bought a hat, and I still don't got my hat. Talking about estimated ship time is April 20th. I'm about to cancel that. I got the jacket. I've been waiting to do a new thumbnail in my new Titans hat. I'm about to cancel that and get my money back and spend that money on the draft hat. I think the draft hats look better than those hats anyways. So I'm going to cancel that order and tell them, man, get my money back. People that got them hats that night already got them hats dirty and then rocked it 1,000 different ways. I want something new. See, that's why I got on the draft hat from last year. I need to find the white version of this. And I'm mad that the adjustable versions of these didn't come with the guitar. The fitted hats came with a guitar pin built into the side, and it was super fresh. It was crispy. I need to get the white version of this and the new NFL draft hat. I posted on my page. Y'all can go check it out if y'all haven't seen it. But I've been having so much fun making this football content and thrifting, and I appreciate y'all for popping out. I'm gonna apply and put in my stuff for the YouTube partnership, so hopefully that finalizes sometime soon and y'all start to see the new stuff pop up on the screen, where y'all can sub to the channel and do all those things. I appreciate y'all continued support and through this switch up in content and us doing something slightly different. So I appreciate y'all, man, and make sure when those YouTube videos drop, make sure y'all liking and commenting and sharing and asking questions, and especially the reels, man. I have so much fun making those reels every day to let y'all see a part of my journey. I'm also gonna make another video to show y'all like before and after of me cleaning the shoes and see how trash some of these shoes are when I get them. Like case in point, I just got these shoes today. These some Air Max 97s. I might these are my size, so I might personally keep these. But like these shoes from the thrift, like they still got the stickers in them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if y'all can see that. Still got the stickers in them. The writing, the whole Nike check is still there. Like I literally will make this shoe look like it came off like fresh out the box. I like disinfected and stuff. Like the shoe y'all seen last night. Y'all should have seen the job I did with this shoe. Like these mushroom cell forces. You know what I'm saying? Like what a good shoehorn and a good cleaning will do to a shoe. That I got this shoe for $9. This shoe is expensive. Like I got these women Pegasus 37. If you're a runner like me, Unc used to run like 30 miles a week. Unc run a 5K 2-3 days a week now. Unc can't do all that. But I will say that like you get a brand new pair of Pegasus 37. Go on Nike website and see how much. Only running shoes I wear is Pegasus or Nike Vomeros, and them things is like $180 a piece. But they last forever. Like I'll show y'all them shoes in my garage one day. Like those shoes, like if you have back problems, knee problems when you jogging, like get Nike Vomeros, and then when you lose a little weight, switch to the Pegasus. I promise, shoes will last probably 5, 6, 7 years of hard running. Like I'm 230, 225 pounds jogging on concrete and I ain't tearing them up. So trust me, those are the best running shoes for the money in my opinion. He said, I ain't lying, but he is tapping in between me. Andre, what's good, my boy? Caleb. People want love fans to be wrong, but they forget we wanted Hall before the Jets tagged him. They wanted Hall and K9. That's why I don't understand the money part of it, because at the end of the day, you was going to pay Hall and K9 more money than Derrick Henry got. So what's the difference? You still waiting for your jersey? I got my jacket, but I didn't get my hat. I wanted that hat more so for thumbnail pictures. I might make a new thumbnail picture in this right here. You know what I'm saying? Because people are like, you don't be wearing clothes from thrift. So yes, I do wear $1 Tennessee Titan Fanatics t-shirts, dry fit from the thrift, bro. Like I have a washing machine, I can wash it. Yeah, bro, you been right pretty much on everything. Only reason I was thinking Pollard would be gone is because said about the whole sweat thing, but now he may because he may not. He still got leg back for us. He's just a decent. But the thing about it is like you have to think about like when I say shop and contracts and how we have to make that a part of the conversation. If Tony Pollard plays all of next year, he'll get $9 million from the Titans. Which if he does and he does his thing and play to the level he's been playing up so far, you know, like I want Tony Pollard to get his money. Like it's not a personal thing. Like I'm not a jaded fan or an ignorant fan. Like Tony Pollard's 28 years old. If he runs 4,000 yards this season, that'll be 5 straight years, 4,000 yards. $9 million for a running back that has 5 consecutive years of 1,000 yards is fine. I'm just saying if you could cut Pollard and save the $7 million and go get Najee Harris, a running back who his first 4 years in the league was 1,000 yards, and he's younger. And then you're telling me you're going to turn around and draft Jeremiah Love and have a really dynamic backfield for a team that doesn't score points. 4 times in the last 3 to 4 years, they've scored 30 points. You know, this is a team that like is horrible in short yardage. They're horrible in the red zone. Like nothing about the Tennessee Titans backfield scares teams when we play. It would be nice if we could go back to the days of Derrick Henry, DeMarco Murray, Chris Johnson, Lindell White, Eddie George, Earl Campbell, like a day when the Tennessee Titan backfield is feared, you know, to where it's like, wow, like we got to worry about how we're going to stop Najee Harris and Jeremiah Love. Because I guarantee next year, it don't matter who we draft at 4 and 35. If we roll out there with the team we got now, there's no team that's like, oh man, we got to stop Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. Just not. You know what I'm saying? Like Tony Pollard's a good back. He's a solid back. But if you want something dynamic, like we got to do more. I need somebody that can score a touchdown. 2 years ago, NWI had 9. Last year, Tony Pollard had 5. Like that's not enough scoring from a team that struggled to score points. Yeah, I mean, we'll be shocked because I could be 1,000% wrong. They could take edge at 4 and at 35. They could take a right guard. You know, like the draft may go completely different than any of us think. But all I know is to throw out my opinions and my perspectives and what I see, and to listen and see what you guys think, and to have fun with it and enjoy this content. Because one thing is, we're content creators and we the shop, and we just here just kicking back, talking, having shop talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't cover the team. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a sports writer. You know, like, I don't have to worry about any of those type of things. Like, I'm just here to have some fun and talk on a level that the fans can relate with and understand and interact and engage with. That's just simply it. And now that I found this side thing of thrifting, picking up, you know, vintage Titan pieces, and it's been fun. So can't wait to drop the next couple of vintage Titan episodes where I show y'all how to spot fakes and kind of show y'all some of the stuff that's been selling and some of the stuff that I've been picking up in the journey with that, as well as getting closer and closer and closer to the NFL draft. So this has been another great episode. Y'all got any questions? I'll give y'all a little time for some questions. If not, it's 2:23 in the afternoon. My daughter get off the bus in an hour. We have to go to Montgomery to the Civil Rights Museum and tour on a field trip tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Y'all know Unc be chaperoning, so I'm going to I already got my list of kids. We leaving the house at 6 in the morning. We ain't going to get home till probably 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So Unc got a full day ahead of me. So I'll definitely chop this episode up and throw this episode on the tube for y'all to be able to check this out and go back and rewatch it. Make sure y'all liking, comment, sharing, doing all those things for your boy. And it's gonna be fun. You would be good at it though, bro, and more right about stuff than some of these reporters on the Titans. Man, a lot of those reporters are not Titan fans, and they're jaded and they have agendas. I don't have agendas. I don't work for any stations. I don't have to have any affiliations or none of that stuff. Like, I can just truly say what I think, and then one thing I can do that most of them can't do is just admit when I'm wrong. And I'm never gonna be here trolling y'all, throwing stuff out there just for clicks. I'm gonna be giving y'all my honest opinions and explain myself. And when I'm wrong, just like when the Titans lose or Alabama lose, I'm gonna go live and eat my crow and take my L's. Something that makes you a man. Malia, what's popping? But with that being said, man, this has been another day in the shop. God first in the chat, man, and we out. Hit that subscribe, like, comment, share. Tap into the daily uploads at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you missed the live streams, you got picture in picture. And if I don't get to any questions during the live streams or the pods, drop them in the comments. I'll make it part of the weekly mailbag. If you're following on the blue, smash those reactions. I know you're OG. Hit that like, comment, share, tap into the daily content that is the shop. If you're new to the shop, you definitely should be tapped in on the green. No ads, up to 50 emotes free for just being a follower. You do not have to be a supporter to unlock picture in picture, late night streams. Follow us on Kick. We also live on Twitch. Look out for the drops, as well as if you have Amazon Prime, it's free $99 to sub to the channel once a month. Don't let Jeff Bezos stick that money back in his pocket. If you don't use it on the shop, use it on another content creator that you like. I still call it Twitter, but follow us on X. We tweet back. If you missed the daily shop talks, make sure you tap in for the late night cap on the purple and the green. The Discord is always open. Outside of subs, donos, and cash apps, there's also another way to support the content. That's by grabbing a trucker hat, a bandana, hoodies, classic barbershop, Vibe Nation, right out of the official merch store on Tactic, formerly known as Geeks Unleashed. Code Buddha at checkout to get a discount. Hit that subscribe.